The new keel is ready.
Yeah, let's go and have a look. Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm MP. We love the ocean, so we decided to make it our home by buying a massive wooden schooner, which is unfortunately sinking.
A lot of people believe our boat is doomed, but we refuse to settle on that thought, and we are willing to do whatever it takes to bring it back to its former glory.
Join us on this refurbishing journey and wish us luck.
If you look over here, we've got the front part of our keel joined over here to the back part of our keel. At the back part of our keel, here you see the lines have been drawn already to make the cuts to join to the last part of our keel. Soon this will all be, I think maybe today, we'll see, will all be one long piece ready to be fitted under the boat. That's pretty exciting. The last joint has to be made in the piece of wood under this one. So this is the back, and this is the piece of wood where the last joint has to be made. So we're just trying to align these two pieces as good as possible, so this can be cut according to this one. This joint was made already and connects to this one. Once all these joints have been cut, it can start being mounted together and put under the boat, so that's pretty exciting. Every millimeter counts when it comes to putting these keel parts together. So cutting the wood, sanding the wood, planing the wood can be a very fast process, but when it comes down to making the joints actually fit together tightly, it's going to be a lot slower process. Every millimeter counts. So now they need to figure out where they need to chisel some off or sand some off for it to fit nicely. So this will be chiseled out on both sides of the joint. As you can see, the line is not going to be cut straight. Why? Because the wedge will be hammered in this way. With the hammer being wedged in, it will get narrower and narrower and narrower, which is eventually going to pull these two joints together. This is the wedge that is going to be cut at an angle so that when hammered in, this side of the wedge pushes this slice of wood, well, this part of the keel, into that joint. So when hammered in and cut correctly, this part of the wedge will push this part of the keel into this joint. Him and him made this. Very good, eh?
Mas uma champanhe lá na ponta lá, ó. É?
Now the last thing that has to be done on this keel is putting a screw through each side. That's going to hold that together.
Now I'm going to explain you what's happening on the back part of the boat. So from this part onwards, we have a piece called overkeel that goes on top of the keel, and the keel goes attached to it. From here to the back, we don't have that piece because we have the engine instead. Now the frame and the engine are almost touching each other, so we don't have space to work on the screw. The plan is to build new frames and attach to the old frames. The difference is that it's not going to be as high, so we'll be able to work on the screw from the top. It will just come to here, so we'll be able to work from the top with the screw.
So the wood's going to arrive that we're going to build those new frames with that are going to stick to the other frames as a support for our keel. That's pretty exciting.
So these pieces made of plywood were attached to our frames just so we could have an idea of the size. Now this will go on the official wood, and we're going to cut the frames from this shape. As you can see, after measuring with those plywood, now we are ready with the drawings here on the official wood. 1, 2, can you see? 3, 4, the fifth over there. And from this we are going to cut, and the frames will be bored.
I realized the frames are the ones that go up and down the side. At the bottom it's something different. So our new pieces of wood are ready. This is what the keel is going to be nailed onto or screwed onto. I don't know the exact name for these pieces, but I will write it here somewhere on the screen so you know what they are. This is the water escapes, so if there's water in the boat, it'll head to the lowest point where we'll have a pump or multiple pumps. So these will be screwed or bolted onto these so we can then easily fit a screw through the top, down and through the keel.
These guys really work from a tough angle. I'm really impressed on how they can do things from here and things get precise even though they have really tough angles to work on. And something else, I'm really impressed. The size of this! I've never seen one like this, I'm sure. And yeah, we really have no idea of things that we don't know, because I never even asked myself how big can a drill be, and this is really impressive.
Corta no meio e traz os dois.
A boa pintura, boa conservação, né?
Homem tem uma escuna exatamente.
Meio-dia antes já tem que estar preparado.
So here under the engine, one of these planks that was made has already been bolted onto the old frame. This is where the keel is going to be bolted onto. Now that's already one of them. There are 4 more to go. One of them is already ready for the holes to be drilled through and the bolt to be stuck through that one. Alright, so let's see how that goes. I'm curious to see these all in place. So that's how much space we had on top, not much. Put the bolt through, and these made a lot lower. So we have all this space. What's your opinion on that, MP?
I wouldn't have thought of doing that, but now that I see it done, it really makes sense.
The 5th and final piece that has to fit against our frames is a slightly different shape, as it has to fit around our prop shaft and the bolts that are holding in some supports for the engine. What are we going to have a look at now?
The new keel is ready.
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
It's amazing. I'm so happy. So here they cut a piece of plywood and bring it to the boat to see if it's the right shape and the right size and the right format. They apply it to the boat.
They apply wood it. Cool.
Oh man. They apply wood it. Oh no, I did.
Cut. Take 2 and action. Cut. Take 3. Action.
Again, don't do that ever again. They apply it to the boat. And like this piece over here, this is the old keel, as you can smell it. And it has this cut. Why is this shape for? Fit to the nose of the boat. And now they are using the plywood to know how to cut the new keel to be able to fit it with the nose. So they just broke this piece because they found a lot of humidity, and it turns out that behind this was our main entrance of water that caused a lot of problems. So that's why this piece now is gone. We're gonna replace it before we're gonna fix all this, replace as well for good wood. So now the percentage of rotten wood on our boat is even smaller.
Yeah, you can see why I've been fixing it over here. This has all been eaten by worms. So we're busy having a look already how much of this has to be cut away in order to put a new piece of wood that will replace the bad bit. When the wood drops out of your boat when removing planks, looks like this, and is this wet, that is not a good sign. At least when we were taking out the molds of the rest of the boat, it wasn't looking like this.
the foot of the frame.
This is the frame of our boat. How does that look?
When the wood looks like chocolate cake and feels like chocolate cake and doesn't taste like chocolate cake, it means it's rotten.
Someone wants chocolate cake. That is the old frame. Just to show what fresh water can do to a wooden frame. If you look behind here, this is already half the size of the frame on the other side. As this was being sawn and hammered out, this was also coming out. So these are going to have to be replaced for sure. We are now sitting under our bed.
Oh yeah.
What's been done so far, as you can see, we have no more keel. First 2 lines of boards on each side have been gone. I'm sitting on some of the concrete ballast. That was very heavy to drop down. And P was underneath trying to catch it.
Not sure, we're doing it very safely.
No, we just dropped it onto the ground with no one in the area.
And
hey!
yeah, it's been a fun day with Caio. Caio always makes sure we are having a good time.
Oh my gosh, I'm eating our shoes. What we have finished today is the keel.
The new keel
The
is
keel
ready.
is ready to be put together. The frames in the back, or the lowest parts of the frames that are going to be stuck to the current frames, are in place.
Yeah.
Putting a new keel in place does mean we cannot do more. Some of the jobs we can't do after replacing the keel, so it's best to do that before. So we've started inspecting some more areas, and we found that the first 5 frames are completely rotten.
Yeah.
Carpenters even asked if we had our boat in fresh water. We said no, it's salt water, but they're still rotten. So good news, we found them and we're going to replace them.
Yes, we
They
will.
literally look like chocolate, soft chocolate cake.
True. Does anyone feel like having a brownie? So this piece over here is holding the prop shaft. It goes through here all the way to the prop. But this had no connection to any of the frames. It was only connected with the keel. So the keel was connected there, but kind of hanging here, and this was also hanging. So now with this new piece the guys made today that's adapted to receive the shaft in the middle, this piece will hold this that was loose and the keel. So the 3 pieces will go held together with a screw. So it's already an improvement from what we had before.
Opa, vamos tirar fora, cara.
So we really hope you enjoyed this episode. So much has been done on the boat, and the next episode will be full of stuff as well because it's going so fast, and we are really happy.
And we would also like to thank all the nice comments that you left on the previous video about our carpenters and our team. We let them know about your messages and they were feeling very, very happy.
Yeah.
And also today is Ben's birthday!
It's my birthday. Well, it's
So
my
give him
birthday
some love.
soon. Anyway, and we did so much to write these names down, and the sea flushed it away, and then some people came and walked over it. So let's thank the patrons and the PayPal donations so much. So we would like to start by thanking Peter
Dirk
and Mary.
and Jorlin,
Thank you, Ethan.
Michael,
Thanks, Randy and Cindy.
thank you Aaron,
Thanks, Daniel.
thanks Boykin,
And thanks, Tommy.
thank you so much guys!
You're helping us out loads, and whee!